Everyone has some old furniture sitting around the house. Grandma's old armchair with tattered upholstery, or an old desk you acquired in college, but never found very appealing. Look around your home for those items that you tend to avoid, but wish could be restored. Once you've identified what you have that could be revamped, set them aside and do some research. Here are 22 ways to revamp old furniture that you're going to love. 1. Dip dye chair. Sometimes your piece of old furniture just needs a little makeover. In this easy do-it-yourself project, you're basically just repainting the chair or table. If the whole thing needs a solid coat of paint first, start there. Once it is in good condition, paint-wise, choose a color that goes well with the room where the chair is located. Now tape off the legs at the height you want your chair dipped, and spray paint the legs below where you've taped. Peel off the tape and voila! Your new custom dipped paint job is easily revamped. Number 2. Bottle cap table. If you have an old card table or small table that's just sitting around the house, turn it into a cool bottle cap table in this do-it-yourself project. First, you'll have to make sure the table and legs are prepped. Once that's complete, you're going to make a new top for the table using plywood. Stick bottle caps in the pattern you want onto the new surface, using some heavy-duty glue or construction adhesive. Grout can be used to pack in the empty space around the bottle caps and later polished away to reveal a cool new flat surface with your favorite bottle caps. Number 3. Stenciled folding chairs. Have some old drab folding chairs you like to break out at a family game night? Dress them up to look like a fancy fabric-covered seat by repainting with a few coats of your favorite color. Then use some cool stencils to trace a pattern on the seat after your original paint dries completely. Use a Sharpie to trace the stencils, and be sure to curl your design over the curved tip of the seat so that it looks like fabric. Finally, fill in your tracings via your color choice of paint. Now you've got a cool set of folding chairs no one else will have. Number 4. Faux marble tabletop. An old plain Jane table, especially a round one, is perfect to use when creating a cool faux marble tabletop look. By using faux marble contact paper, you can place it face down on the table and trace or cut around the edges. Remove the paper, and you've got a cool marble look to your table. Keep things more permanent. Consider covering the tabletop with glass. Number 5. Cross-stitch chair. Have an old cane web chair? Revamp it with a cool cross-stitched look. First, make sure your chair is stained how you would like it, bringing out the natural colors of the wood with oil or polish. Then, section off the parts of the web you would like to cross-stitch. Next, determine your color scheme and pattern of the stitching and make a plan on paper. Choose the yarn in colors you like and begin stitching diagonally across the holes of the web. This isn't anything technical, it's a matter of pushing the yarn through the holes in the webbing. Of course, it will take a while, but when you're finished, you'll have a really unique cross-stitched chair. Number 6. Leather belt chair. If the cross-stitching just isn't your thing, try this alternative, which is just as cool. Everyone has a lot of old belts they never wear. Take a few extra belts or find some for cheap at a discount store and get to work. First, you remove the seat of a wooden framed chair. Next, stretch the belts in a creative pattern across the seat, weaving the belts together in a crisscross pattern. For extra security, pull the belts tight and fasten them underneath on the inside of the frame. Number 7. Paper-wrapped chair. For anyone who has an old wooden vintage chair where the back is separated from the seat, using fancy paper can be a cool redo. Choose a kind of wallpaper that goes with the colors of the room, or maybe something that gives a nice pop of color. With only scissors, paper, Mod Podge glue, a medium-sized sponge, and an X-Acto knife, you're on your way to a cool vintage-looking chair. Just use the glue to attach a larger-than-needed section of the decorated paper to the back of the chair. Spread the glue evenly using the sponge. Make sure to push out any bubbles in the paper, and once it's dry, you can use the knife to cut away the excess paper. Number 8. Decorative table legs. For a cool new look to an old table, you can use decorative napkins and adhesive to give a fun new look. Find some fancy napkins, good quality, with a pattern you like. Using a paintbrush, spread the Mod Podge adhesive glue onto the table leg. This works really well on IKEA tables, which have easily detachable legs. Split the napkin into layers and place the napkin onto the leg with glue. Be careful to get out any wrinkles. Now, using a clear acrylic sealer, paint it evenly over the top of the napkin for an even coverage, and let it dry. Number 9. Leather Sling Sofa. Recycle used materials into a cool new sling-style sofa. If you find an old used leather couch, you can strip the material off and sew it together to form the back of this fresh little sofa. You'll want to keep the pieces of leather as large as possible in order to have the best backing for the sofa. Then, using wood, specified in the link under the video, wooden dowels and screws or bolts, you can assemble the frame of the small sofa. This project can get a bit technical, so be sure to read all the way through and carefully follow the directions. You'll need a few special tools both for assembling the frame and sewing the leather, but when you're done, you'll be left with a cool sling-style sofa that's sure to be the unique piece in your home. Number 10. Kids Table Makeover. Have a kids' table that's a little bit beat up? In this do-it-yourself project, you can turn that old table into something fun and cool the kids will love. By removing the old seat and back of the chairs, you can easily spray paint the frames with a fresh color. Next, add a new material over the seat covers and staple the material down before attaching the seat and back to the chair frame again. Using a few thin and cheap boards from your local hardware store, as well as liquid nails, you can attach everything according to the directions listed in the link to make a smooth new tabletop. Sand the top of the table once everything is attached for a smoother finish. You'll coat the top of the table with a few coats of semi-gloss polyurethane. And there you have it, a cool new used kids' table. And last, number 11, recovered mid-century Burke chair. For an older chair that needs a little pizzazz, like this mid-century Burke chair, you can find some really neat material to cover it with. You'll have to first remove the cushions and upholstery. Cut the material in a way you want to lay it over the cushions, leaving the edges long enough to wrap around the back of the cushion and fasten with small staples. This is a really fun and easy project. And the best part is, you can salvage material from almost anywhere that will make a cool patterned cushion on your restored chair. That's it. Since you're still watching, care to like this video, share it with a friend, or comment on it. Press the subscribe button if you can't find this channel in your subscription tab. And thanks for watching.